all I'm going to need now is the occasional ramen and then the occasional cyberpunk. That's how I save up monies at the start. I feel like that's probably the best way to do it. Ramen is really tanky and really good for Angelic Sleipnir where not much else is. And it's going to help with the Gabriel Doges as well, which usually create a pretty big dent into whatever I'm stalling with. Not now. Resistance is good. But then again, that's the joy of a sensibly designed floor. The fact that you can just try it again. No energy spent. Maybe a better way to do this would be to keep to one ramen total, so that we don't have it killing the angel stuff too easily. And then maybe we're going to be able to stall for a little bit longer. And maybe I don't need a max worker cap, to be fair. I don't know. This is all part of the testing and all something that's important to try. So let's say we go for a level 4 worker cap. About 10,000 monies. That will be enough to get Shadow Gal and Meg Aphrodite. And hopefully that will be fine. I should think that will be fine. But we have to test to see if that's fine. Right, we've hit the max monies now, so we'll bring out Shadow Gal, we'll bring out Meg Aphrodite, Sleipnir's on the way to death, we'll bring out some of the other units, make sure to meat shield so we have a nice big wall this time so that we don't get caught out by surprise and just die. And then also Paladin when we can afford it, so that deals with the metal doges almost immediately. Upgrade the worker cap then perhaps. And now we push forward. If we can do this in a lower level worker cap, it, as well as making it simpler with this strategy, if we freeze all of this stuff here, it also makes it quicker. And I don't mind it being a little bit quicker. I don't, of course, mind if levels take a little bit longer. Principally, the time I don't want to be spending is constantly changing about my slots. But if levels take a long time, not that much of a worry, especially if they're done with the CPU. For example, well, you'll see in the future of this video. Maybe then, given how successful the ramen was and it being too successful, we could sacrifice that for a Momotaro? Not entirely sure. It might make me shielding more difficult. It's something that I'll probably swip and swap around as we go through Heavenly Tower again. But for this round of it, I've done the floor up to 20, so we'll leave this for now, with the hope that in the future this itself can be made a little bit easier in our guaranteed roll. It's not like if I did an Ultra Souls roll and it'd be physically impossible for me to get a new one, unless they added a new one. So we will do that. So, through this wall of miserable that might... If I speak like that, right, if I just block any kind of intake, does that improve? It probably doesn't. It makes me sound even more nasally. It's awful. I've done everything in my power to make my voice sound alright, and I feel rubbish, I sound rubbish, and the video's rubbish. That's pretty good. Let's use all of you then, add to your levels, lovely stuff. And we're going to head straight over to Uberez and have a look at... I'm glad to have you, my fellow. Nobilan flippin' Pasalan. I'm not buying your cat food, right? You fix ads for cat food, and I'll begin to think about it. To be fair, I won't actually buy cat food, but at least I'll think about it. I'm not buying your cat food, right? You fix ads for cat food, and I'll begin to think about it. To be fair, I won't actually buy cat food, but at least I'll think about it. Right. Blue, away. Kill that morph. I'm sure you can. You're good at that sort of thing. Well, knock him back and slow him. That'll do. We'll meat shield a little bit more. Why the heck not? You know, it is really sad that I try everything possible within my power, eat any kind of anti-cold food and drink possible, and yet all that happens is that it gets worse. I sound worse, I feel worse, I'm struggling to think to a punchline. I'm struggling to think of a punchline because it is just too miserable. And things can only get, I would say, easier, but not really. It's a Cyberhorn, Delete Shibali and other stuff, but equally, right? I get all this lot, and this lot, they just, well, they're dead. You're dead, mate. But I can, in fact, pick up my device and move it around wherever actually I like, because it is no longer physically connected to my computer. Reason being, it can't be, because the lead's somewhere else. And iOS has that screen recording thing, so I'm trying that matched with my microphone recording. So it's ultimately the same, just a different way of recording the screen. We'll see how that works. I'm still deliberating over how my general slot's going to work, whether actually let's not worry about that for now, really. So ultimately, I want to change it up a bit, and oh, I sound so hip, don't I? But be all too aware that Jace might be right, but essentially, the guaranteed role of where I got the thing, I got complete mind blank. What was it where I got Ubers and that? The Procky Boy Nekaluga role where we got Goodalan, useful Alan. That people did not cease at any point to let me know. Thank you. Jace did try that on floor 40, by the way. Couldn't really find a use for it because it was so slow, I believe he said. So, basically, but I'm not sure, because even Coffee contradicted his own advice a couple of times. Anyway, they think it's all over. It might well be now. Let's attack and find our fate. It exists. It is in the real world for more than one Yulala hit and be what your level 50 would have to be, actually. Sorted, like done. The issue complete. We are, I mean, maybe. Yeah, no, we can't do the true fault, so yeah. They were there. That was good. Right. In any case, though, there is a thing, and I've completely forgotten what it was. Mad. It's just as bad as before. This is useless. I mean, it's just luck. Why have I mean, I could have just stopped this earlier and been like, oh, I'm happy about that. My strat works. But it doesn't. It's awful. It does, though, to be fair, right? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's Reggie, and welcome to Not What I Was Planning, because I've been spending ages on a video that still isn't made and nobody will watch, which is the very sad truth of life, but we've been rescued by the bell, in fact, of, I'm going to edit that all out anyway, probably. In fact, fuck it, we're just going to start again, because that was really bad. Oh, heck yeah. And I actually know about this because when I was away before on the JP, I came across this strange darkened cellar boodle. And that is what lives in the Never Not Summer, right? And, you know, ever the argumentative type, I replied saying I didn't think that was true because I don't. Well, I'm afraid I can't be because I now have to get on with a lot of different stuff. I've been procrastinating, unfortunately, but now is not the time to do that. A lazy tomorrow does not mean I'm talking complete rubbish. What I count that at. So, that means that for your... Oh, I shouldn't have decided to play Clash Royale at the same time as saying this. Oh, I'm going to lose. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, eat that, you sucker. In any case, you will be doing sweet XP. Oh, 3 crown. Eat that. Right. Put that down. So, 3, 5. So we'll put it in the middle somewhere, for example. So that is aren't helping anyone wherever they are. The all-powerful cyberpunk users. So I think that's another strike on my side of the argument. Oh, I sound like a complete narcissist. I think the evidence here tips the stage difficulty part of the argument roughly in my favour. But let me tell you about lucky, likely, all begins with L, bleh. Likely chance, we can probably do the maths here, but it would be best to just play the stages as they are, but that would have to be in a separate video. So, yeah, I think that would only be fair. Right, Meg Aphrodite, though, we will definitely use that one. You know, it's technically an uber grade above Shadow Gal, but seems to annoy people less, so we'll go with it. Well, I guess that tells you all you need to know. Let's bring out Shadow Gal. This is the same meat shielding strategy as in Growing Strange. Wait, has Growing Strange been useful in some way? Even though I'm completely entitled to use Shadow Gal if I like. What's wrong with Uber Carry? There's a saying that it's easier to be convinced that there's something wrong with something, or proper wording, that an argument is fallacious, than to actually find the fallacy in that argument. What's wrong with Uber Carry? I don't know. I don't like it. Because we've been recording for a while, right? And I you know, sod it. We'll open the ticket, so you probably don't want another thing. Right, starting off with a 500,000. I should write this down. Although not a wholly conclusive experiment, so there you go. That'll do.